Welcome back to Satisfactory. I'm so glad you're here. We're in the midst of getting Phase 4 complete. Maybe I'm being a little aggressive, but I'd like to complete Phase 4 today. I think the first thing we're going to do is get more assembly directors built. Ooh. It's all about proper shopping. I think we need to give up some of this and try to get some of these plates. The more of these we can put in place, the sooner we can get it done. Of course, we need to supply it. Just because it's built doesn't mean it's perfectly supplied. Missing copper sheets. It's all about one thing or another when you're trying to build at this scale. Yeah, we'll just connect it on the front. Much easier. Of course, that's not claiming to be charged. What's going on here? Oh, none of these are connected right off the bat? Jeez. For some reason, I thought I connected a lot more of these. Okay, I guess I just put in a little test amount. I must have gotten super distracted by that power situation that we were dealing with last time. No worries. We can connect these. If I do the up and down version, I should get it done in relatively short order. Because we're here to make assembly directors, and we need to start making those as soon as we can. Speaking of which, let me grab a few of these. If we grab a couple supercomputers, we should be able to increase our availability. Nope, nope, that one's looking for adaptives. That one looks like it's good to go. We'll give you a couple extra just to make sure you don't pause at all. Looks like the supercomputers already made their way in by the time we went down there to get extra ones. Alright. At the end of the day, they do need adaptive control units, which means they need wiring. The wiring is the slow... Yep, there it is. Okay, well, at the very least then, we get to have a couple of supercomputers in our inventory. Though technically I'd probably be better off uploading those and having them available to us for future projects. Oh man, we're just under 100 short on plates. And it looks like it's the only thing we have left. I wonder, do I have the ability to make an iron plate? Ugh, I have to make an ingot first. I guess by the time I build these 3 and connect them, we should be very close to done with it. Put in power for these guys. Beautiful. Sadly, I don't think we're going to get the iron plates quite fast enough. Now these guys are barely going to have adaptive control units ever. Heck, they're running out of radios. high-speed connector, quick wire inline. So this is kind of my high-speed connector. Super factory. Oh no. Oh, these guys are suffering from a lack of aluminum casing. Oh. Just as I turned around, we completed the inventory requirement. Let's get back up here, get this in place. This will give us 15. That's it? 15 per minute? That's gonna take a while to get 500. I guess 100 minutes to be 1500. So 1/3 of that, 30 minutes. Assuming everything is properly supplied, which we secretly know is the problem here. Man, if I even, at this level, if I combine the sources of 3 machines, I get just enough to make 1 adaptive control unit. We obviously need massive amounts of automated wiring, but we know that that's also a problem. I think I want to check in on our power supply. Last time we didn't have enough nitrogen gas. I'm just gonna presume that more nitrogen gas would be a good thing. Let's start. Well, let's see how much nitrogen gas we have ready to go. See, now this is the problem. Is it looks like we should have... Okay. I think I see it. We don't have nearly enough empties in place. That's an easy fix. If we put some more empties in here, we should be able to keep all this full. I think our empty levels isn't allowing everything to stay full. We need like enough empties to always have something full and empty. at the filling station. That's a nice chunk of empties, that's for sure. I am noticing that that aluminum products factory is very quiet. I'm gonna check the coal level. As soon as we get this nitrogen gas. Like each one of these should probably have a full stack of empties. I don't want to say at all times, but I kind of want to say at all times. And why is this side full and this side not? Alright, well, it's just on a plain splitter, so it's not any kind of specialty weirdness going on. Now I'm trying to think, is one of these gonna satisfy our needs or not? Oh, I see somebody circling the coal export. That can't be good. Hopefully it is a simple solve, that they just need some turbo fuel to get going again. Man, when you're on the drone network, if you allow the fuel situation to get out of hand, you will wreck your game for a very long time. Why is there a tiny little floating island over there? Alright, that problem is solved. So the coal that we were going to look at Is the coal necessary? I am curious about this tiny little island, though. Hey, maybe I shouldn't land on it. Let's see what we can see first. Yeah, that's weird. There's probably a good power slug over there. But that's not what I'm into right now. We could hand carry some filled nitrogen canisters. Of course, we are having power problems right now, and adding more coal to that network is probably gonna make us have more power problems, because that part of the factory is gonna kick on. And since we're taking out all of the canisters, there's going to be plenty of work for it to do. I am tempted to bring over another round. How is 240 and nitrogen gas not making its way into this? In fact, none of them are particularly happy. You would think that this pipe is a 600 pipe. You would think that at least this very first one would be perfectly fine. But even they are kind of on the edge. I guess while ooh, there's some good stuff in there. I guess while we're over there, we can double check to make sure the coal landed. Well, at the very least I see casing being made. And I can hear. Did I not put any storage? I probably set it up and then thought, who's gonna need that much storage for canisters? Let's take a look at the automated wiring. Oh, come on. That's really a uncharacteristic issue. Let's say if we wanted to put 20 more of these in. Looks like we would need a ton of steel beams of all things. Steel beams and wire. Steel beams probably because we use the steel beam or the steel wall treatment. We're still on reserve battery backup powder. We're still on reserve battery backup powder. Powder? Battery backup power. Easy for me to say. So I'm just going to do a quick hand delivery of... You know, I should have grabbed some steel while I was there. But it's okay. Let's get this power thing totally checked off our list. We could check in on the desert steel. We might have some steel there. Yeah, I mean, that's all it is it comes in, it gets ripped open, the gas gets sent along its way. That nitrogen gas gets made into rocket fuel gets burned. That extra stuffing of nitrogen gas is pretty much what we needed, though. Alright. We will claim victory in that regard. Our power situation should get back online here. We actually have packed nitrogen gas just sitting here. All the more reason that I'm happy we put this in place. Ooh, of course now that's full. Alright, I'm gonna leave before I get into a bunch of other stuff. Oh, this is obviously a previously walking around inventory. Alright, see, look at that. I'm cleaning up some containers. Look at all those power slugs. Halfway decent amount of them are purple power slugs. Of course, they're guarded by high-end hatcheries. No, sadly, I didn't keep any beams to the side. That's unusual. Normally I would keep at least one industrial storage container on the side for situations just like this. Alright. Another walking around container. But doesn't have the steel that I need. And unfortunately, everywhere that I need steel, I'm using it. Yeah, we need to take another boost from our secondary location. Well, while we're here, we might as well grab the... We can grab some concrete. There we go. I don't know. We really don't have a good collection of the stuff we actually need. I think I see some red lights in here. Yes, I do. What's going on? Red lights are almost always power. Oh yeah, it was built, but it doesn't look like it was fully connected, but I think we got it now. Just would like to confirm it before we moved on. Guess I'll have to go in and check. Though it's probably that the lower level stuff hasn't built out the upper level stuff. Okay, yeah, we just had that power connection missing. Is this the place where I made the changes, or did I make the changes in the other location? Where were the changes that I made? Oh, right, I added some additional power storage. Let's clear this and reclaim the materials. Try to at least have enough for one build. Rifle ammo. Wow, that's an old box. One, two, three, four. If all of these were 10, that would be 40. That would leave us 10 more if we were going to build 50 of these. Not to say that we're going to build 50 of these. I'd like to confirm coal. Oh, you're trying to tell me we're out of coal too? No, you're trying to tell me I didn't connect it correctly. See, this is why you always check your work.
I don't know. Have a good day.
It's gonna take an absolute ton of building the structure to get this going. I don't even know where we could get that much steel. 11,000 steel. And that's not technically enough to get this whole thing done. That's the worst part. Oh. Sadly, I banked my... Well, I might have a jetpack in my uploader. And some turbo fuel in my uploader. Not gonna let me recharge it. Oof. Whoa, we slowed down just enough. Is there a container over here? There is. Actually, it's got a halfway decent amount of wire in it. I'll take that. No need. Oh, I was about to say, no need for encased beams. That seems unlikely. I feel like no matter what we do, we always need encased beams. I'm here mostly for the beams, but finishing up half of the concrete's also not a bad idea. That's gonna be a ton. An absolute ton of steel beams. Oh, it's only one trip away. Well, looking at this, I like this twisty stair step concept. I kind of like that a lot, actually. I could still make this corner the short corner, but on this paradigm, I think making this the absolute tall one is the way to go. And then we'll just make them all different levels. I think it'll be cool. If we could ever get the stuff together to build it all. Oh, this isn't connected at all. Part of me says that's good, because that gives us 2 levels that we can get connected. Let's just split this. I'm tempted to split it to the ground. That might give us some opportunity to have some additional options later. I think we need to give this guy some power. Looks like we need silica and wiring. And plate. We need everything. Hey, we got 2 of them in at least. Uh-oh. Ran out of aluminum now. The problem is the amount of automated wiring that we're making is definitely slowing us down. Alright, we'll build one more. Then we'll probably call it. I'm gonna need to take on a massive construction project to get this done. And massive construction projects mean huge amounts of stuff moved into place. Zero? I would expect some by now. Why 0? It takes that long to start up? Wow. I wonder if it's rounded down to 0. It's gonna be a build and a half to get this going. In their defense, though, we've supplied enough coal and iron ore. And I do like the fact that we're adding some additional power storage to the mix automatically. Alright, let's leave it there, I guess. We're gonna have to go absolutely big on automated wiring if we want to get this done in a reasonable amount of time. I kind of like where that's headed with the blue stripe and the multi-level. I think there's something there. I just want to see how many director systems we've made. $116. We'll have to see how many we're actually making. This area is very quiet though. Uh-oh. If we're out of radio control units, then none of this even matters. Ugh. Casings. It's always a cascade of problems. We know we had that coal issue. Aluminum casing export claims to be en route. Computer complex casing import. Oh, that's actually really good timing. $123 casings. Oh boy. I definitely should have stopped and picked up some more energy. Uh-oh. Almost got wedged in there. What an unfortunate time to discover there's a boar. A giant nuclear boar. Oh my god. Two giant spiders there. This is the part of the swamp I never have to deal with because I normally just fly in. You know, I could probably pick up some of this silica. The coal import is claiming empty. I'd like to think that that was just a matter of circumstance that we arrived after a drop. It looks like we're in tweaking and improvement mode to try to increase our throughput for various things. Though technically the casings are flowing. I just think there's probably more than one location that's taking the casing. Yeah, we need coal. This guy's actually asking for a lot of coal, 120 per. Definitely seems like something we should deal with in the next episode. We got a lot going on. But we should be able to get all the assembly directors done. If we add more coal to get more casing, and then we just have to build out our automated wiring factory. $50 is about half what we need. That's the downside of these mega improvement factories. Takes a lot of them. Either way, thanks for hanging out. I do appreciate it. We'll see you next time.